Oi, Loquinhas! Welcome back. We're back with part 5 of Loquinhas from Três, Graças, watching their scenes, and today the dinner is happening. It's finally happening. I can't wait to... I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. Because I know it's gonna be terrible, but it's gonna be very interesting to see how terrible it will actually be. I know they all go there. I know it's gonna end with him having a heart attack or something, like passing out. Ferretti. So it has to be quite bad, but I don't know what is actually said, like what is actually gonna happen. And then I'm sure there's a lot of other things in this part 5 too, but it has to start with the dinner because part 4 ended with them leaving for the dinner with the full gang. The queer gang, which I love. And then Viviani is gonna be there at the dinner too. Like, it's gonna be a mess. I don't think like the beginning of this video just shows like couple lines that Ferretti and Viviani say to each other, but then the whole like beginning of the scene with them is not there, which is okay. I mean, this is just focusing on Loquinha, these videos, and my videos too, I guess. But I do need to try and find from somewhere like what does he say to her before the rest of them join the dinner. Because I am very interested in that too. Again, of course, like, this is gonna be terrible, but since it is a novella, since it is a TV show, the drama is what we want to see, you know? We're not here to just, like, there's no show if there's no drama. And I'm very excited to see these actors do what they do with scenes like this. Like, in many ways, even though the scenes are the worst to watch when Ferretti is throwing Lorena out of the house, at the same time, for me, they're my favorite because that's where I'm like, you know, that's where it's at for me. Like, watching Alanis do what she does, and everyone else, you know, but like, it's like, that's what I want to see, to appreciate the actors and what they're doing. So I'm very excited for this. I also know that there's a lot still for me to watch, even to reach the point where the novella is right now when I'm filming this. So I know I'm late from everyone else, but I would think it would be fun to possibly do some lives with you guys. Go live here on YouTube or even on TikTok. I've done a couple of the lives on YouTube and stuff before, but it would be fun to do one where we focus on this show, on these characters, talk about this, and whoever wants to come and hang out, talk about it can. We were thinking about it with my wife, because then I'm like, I know for a lot of people English is not that strong, and then because in lives you can't really have subtitles, unlike in these videos I'm able to put subtitles in Portuguese. But we were even thinking about like she could be there too, kind of. Not in the live, but kind of there. So then if I'm saying something, she can translate. And then if you guys are commenting, she can translate those to me. Because my Portuguese is not that great yet, that I could do a live in Portuguese. Or maybe say anything in Portuguese. But yeah. So let me know what you guys think. I think it would be fun. Usually I do lives and things like this on Sundays. Because of the time difference, it's easier to have a day like that where most people would have a day off. Because if I do a live on a Thursday in the evening, for me, it's going to be daytime for you guys. And then people are at work and school and everything. So, yeah. But let me know if you're interested in a live. I think it would be fun. I know the last video was really long. There was just so much for me to talk about in the scenes and stuff. We'll see how this one will be. I have no idea. I mean, I had no idea that the last one is going to be like 2.5 hours when I had filmed it, and then it ended up being like 2 hours when I posted. So we'll see. But also, I'm not apologizing for it because, like I've said before, you guys can just skip the parts that you want to skip through. And a lot of people really like the fact that the video was longer. So I think the first video I made was like 30 minutes. And now already in part 4, it's 2 hours. Because I think originally when I had the idea that I would react to the scenes with just them, I thought that this is gonna be a very light content for me to make. It, like in between the other shows that I react to that take long to film and edit and whatever, I was like, well, this is gonna be easy. I'll just do, you know, quick ones, just do their scenes, and that's like, it's gonna be fine. And now these are like the ones that take the longest because I talk so much and there's so much to say. But I love it. It's really fun, and it's fun that people are watching. Also on TikTok, some of the videos have gone like pretty well on TikTok, which is awesome. So if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, you can do that too. And if you don't follow me here, or if you don't subscribe to the channel, please do it. If you like these videos, and you can like the videos and whatever. Let me know your thoughts. You can comment down below. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Let's just watch it. Let's start, and I'm gonna keep talking throughout the whole thing anyway, so let's go. Part 5 of Loquinha. Let's go! So here, this whole conversation has happened with them already. The first line that we see here, how many grandchildren are you going to give me? Give me, as if it's like, the way that he talks about women, that like we're just some like machines for babies, you know, like how many are you going to give me? I don't think they're giving you anything. Like, I don't know, I just can't. But this is the end of the conversation.
Quantos netos que você vai me dar?
Bom, Fred, como eu falei, quem poderia ser?
Who could it possibly be? My God. In the silence too. Maybe at his face. It's in Hilda being like, oh my God.
Bem-vindos. Apertem os cintos.
Vai ser uma noite de muita turbulência.
Oh my God, stop looking at each other like that. This is not the moment. This is not the moment for me. This is too much. Like, they're I'm sorry. Looking at each other like this. 2 seconds after they came in front of her dad, in front of everyone. Guys, this is inappropriate. But I love it that they're not scared. They don't
Então
care.
você, Lorena, respeita a minha ordem e vem pra cá com essa cavalaria.
Eu sei que você acha que eu vim aqui só fazer um desaforo.
Oh,
Mas
you
nem sempre
didn't?
você é o centro das atenções, meu pai. Deixa eu cumprimentar a estrela dessa noite. Cunhadinha.
Yeah, pretending that they actually came to see them. Sister-in-law, she calls her.
Na verdade, eu fui voto vencido e a minha presença aqui é muito mais para conter os ânimos.
Ele já falou algum absurdo? Lorena, seu pai só fala absurdos, né?
It's so true. It's so true. Like, what do you mean? What kind of question is that? Of course, like, that's all he does. Anything outrageous. Or, like, absurd, I think, would also be a good word for what
Lorena,
they're
seu pai
saying.
só fala absurdos, né?
Absurdos.
Mas por enquanto tá tudo sob controle. Ainda. Você
It won't be for
Juquinha?
long.
Eu posso entrar
That's
nesse
me,
papo? Meu Deus do
Juquinha.
céu, só se eu molhar o bico.
Oh my God.
Zenilda. Vinho.
Come back to my side.
Eu
What?
acho que você tá bebendo demais, Fred.
Now he's talking to her like a freaking waitress. Zenilda, bring me wine. Go get your own wine. You idiot. Yeah, but I guess the problem here is that we need to talk about the fact that he has already been drinking too
Eu acho que
much.
você tá bebendo demais, Fred.
Yeah.
Meu amor, eu nem comecei.
Let's go. I love that Maggie is there, just like. So funny.
Tô me sentindo a filha pródiga voltando pra casa.
Ah, é?
I feel like she's being too cheerful about this. You would think that, or I don't know, maybe it is good for the drama that we can see that she comes in and she's so like, I'm just like a prodigal daughter who just came back home. Like, who are you talking to? Your dad, at least, is not gonna take that very well. I feel like her mood is still probably in this like beginning part when they go in. It's just still very like exciting and like, oh my god, I can't believe we're doing this and this is so, you know. And then I think when he's gonna start saying stuff, because I'm sure he will say stuff to everyone in this room, I would think that the mood switches a little. Although that has to be what she's expecting that will happen.
Para mim, você é apenas... você está aqui só de passagem, porque você não foi convidada. Então, portanto, eu espero que você suba, pegue o resto dos seus trapos junto com esse bando que você trouxe e vá embora. Que seja breve essa visita.
Deixa eu te
Lorena.
apresentar pelo menos a minha namorada.
Não precisa me apresentar. Eu já conheço essa daí. Eu só não conheço como sua namorada. Ainda não acostumei com isso e não vou acostumar.
That he won't even, I mean, yes, like he said, he has already met her. Because they were like interrogating them, right? Her and Paulinho were meeting him and Arvind as police. So yeah, sure. He has already met her. But poor Lorena, that she's so like, no, at least, I know you're like, you don't want me here or whatever, but at least let me introduce you to my girlfriend. No, absolutely not. That he won't even, I don't know. You would think that these like rich people who care so much about status and everything, you would think that they at least would have some manners, that you would want to pretend that you're like above all of this. He's just like this little kid who is just throwing fits everywhere and being like, no, I don't want this. Bring me wine. Get out. Like this, you know? He's not even trying to maintain the cool rich guy who is like, can tell everyone what to do and whatever. Of course, now he's drunk as well, but yeah.
Deixa eu te
Lorena.
apresentar pelo menos a minha namorada.
Não precisa me apresentar.
She's
Eu
so-
já conheço essa daí. Eu só não conheço como sua namorada. Ainda não acostumei com isso e não vou acostumar.
Você não precisa ser grosseiro, Ferete. Você me
Grosseiro?
desculpe, viu, anjinho, pelo que ele te
Vai.
disse e pelo que ele ainda vai te dizer.
Ah, não chega perto não, hein? Isso aí pega.
Isso.
O quê? O que foi? Hã?
I feel like I'm gonna pause after every line. Maybe that's what this dinner will be. That after everything he says, I just need to like take a moment. He's saying to Sunilda, don't go too close because it's contagious. I'm sorry, I mean it's not funny, but it is because it's so absurd the level that he's at. And people were saying this, which I didn't know. I mean, I talked about this with my wife and she's like, I have 100% sure told you that Andrea, who plays Zerelda, that she's bi in real life. Because someone was saying that in the comments of the last video, I think. And I was like, what? And then I asked my wife, I'm like, why have you not told me? She's like, I for sure have told you. I don't know how it has not like stuck to me, because this is the kind of information that I like to have. But I was talking in the last episode or last video about the layers of queerness that he insults when he's talking stuff like this on the show. Like the levels that it's hitting when it's like he says it to Lorena, who is also Alanis, who is also queer and whatever, and then we hear it, those of us who are queer, and then it hits us and whatever. But then for her as well, for Andrea to be there and he is saying a lot of stuff to her as well, not directly of course, like you are, you know, bad for being like this or something, but he, like, she's also there in this conversation having to hear this, and now him being like, don't go too close because it's contagious. Too late.
Pense pelo que ele ainda vai te dizer.
Ah, não chega perto, não, hein? Isso aí pega.
Isso.
O quê? O que foi?
She's like,
Hã?
Vai dizer que você tem medo, então, Ferete.
O quê? Minha filha, eu sou totalmente imune. Eu sou 100% hétero. Tá doida?
Bom, isso é o que o senhor diz, né? Mas vai que se cavucar aí dentro, bem lá no fundo, será que você tem essa certeza toda?
it's so not. He is so like he has so many like mannerisms and stuff that he does that I'm like, oh my god, it's so funny that he's so homophobic when he is so like, you know, like this. It's so funny. She's like, if you really dig deep, are you actually sure?
Amigo Ferretti.
Casper, nós não somos amigos. Somos conhecidos.
Não interessa. O que interessa é que tanto você quanto eu nos preocupamos em primeiro lugar com as nossas famílias.
Aqui só tem uma família.
Oh my
A
god.
única família que tem aqui é a minha. E essa, no momento, está dividida e eu estou tentando unir da forma certa. Apesar da minha filha vir me afrontar com essa namoradinha e esse bando para validar uma aberração que eu nunca vou me acostumar.
É lamentável que você pense assim. Foi por causa desse pensamento.
Her face, Zanilda's face. There is no way that she's still staying here in this house with him after. I keep saying that in every video, but like I would think something like this would maybe be the last thing for her that will make her actually leave, or will it be the when she finds out about Arminda? Because that's very directly to her, like attack against her. Here he's just attacking everyone else. Their kids, the kids like partners, the friends, like everyone. But he's not attacking her. But then when she finds out that he's been cheating on her forever, like that's of course a very direct hit towards his wife. And then saying that he, like, yeah, his family is the only family here in this room. That he doesn't even acknowledge Casper and João with Maggie being a family. Right? He is an
Por causa desse
insane
pensamento
man.
que nós acolhemos a sua filha na nossa casa.
Essa aí, essa baixinha atrevida.
Você tá falando sério mesmo?
Olha aqui, tô falando sério, sim.
Eu posso ser baixinha assim, mas pra uma boa briga eu sou capaz de crescer 50 centímetros, sabia?
Nós acolhemos a sua filha.
So sorry. This video is gonna be so long as well, even though the actual video is not as long as last time. But calling her little, and that's the... I love that that's a thing that's too much for Maggie. Sassy short girl, he calls her. And then Maggie is like, are you kidding me? And Juquinha is saying that she can grow 50 centimeters in a fight. I mean, look, I would not want to fight her. And then Lorena pulling her back. Like the look on Lorena's face when she's pulling her back. It's like, you will be rewarded for this later. This is great.
Nós acolhemos a sua filha na nossa casa, Ferretti, por...
Olha aqui, vocês não fizeram isso de boa ação. Vocês fizeram isso porque vocês são doentes.
Chega,
como ela.
Ferretti.
Vocês dois chamam essa menina de filha.
She's so dumb.
Delas vocês são. Vocês estão achando que vocês são um cidadão de primeira classe? Fino, educado, mas vocês deviam estar presos numa jaula. Num viveiro de periquito. Não paro!
Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know if I should laugh or cry. Apparently I'm just laughing because this is insanity. He is crazy. He's literally saying that you should be locked in a cage. Zanilda is so down on the couch, she's just like, stop it, don't say anything else. But it is interesting how there's like eight people, 7, 8, 9 people there. He's all alone in one side, and everyone else takes like turns to speak back to him and say something back and like fight against him, and still he won't even like give in even a little bit. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Of course he's also been drinking, but I don't think even if he wasn't, I don't think this would be any better. I think he would be just as bad sober. But it's like so obvious how many walls he has up, and he has built this thing in his head that this is the worst thing ever for some reason. That then no matter how many people are like defending it, they're in his house, we're like talking about this together, you're the only one who disagrees. And he won't give in like even just a little. And he said that he's immune. Even though we all know he's minimum bi. Like my wife would say. Minimum bi. He, like, the mannerisms and everything are so gay that yeah. Juquinha is like, I don't know what to... How is she...
Seu discurso.
Oh my God.
Mas você...
Let's go.
O que pensa de cada uma dessas pessoas aqui hoje? Só que eu não ouvi nada sobre mim e eu queria muito ouvir. O que você acha de mim, Ferete?
Eu acho que você é até bonitinha, né? Mas baixa renda.
Kind of pretty.
Ah, você acha?
Apesar de ser bonitinha, você é tão pobre que você mora numa...
Juquinha hugging her in the background. I'm sorry. This is fantastic. I love Viviani for being like so unapologetic and ready to like attack him. I think all of them are quite like doing that quite well. No one is like, let's go in, but then when they're in there in this dinner, they are kind of like, when he starts yelling, they're like, woo, you know? But she is maybe the bravest, like the way she talks, even the way she was challenging him about like, are you sure you're not? You know, that she's like, she's so above this situation, so above what he's saying, that then she can like challenge him like that. It's great. I think Leo is the only one in here tonight who is like too scared to say anything to him. He's the only one who hasn't said a word since this whole video started, you know? But let's see the moment when she tells him.
Eu acho que você é até bonitinha,
But yes,
né?
Juquinha,
Mas
like Lorena in
baixa
the
renda.
background.
Ah, você acha?
Apesar de ser bonitinha, você é tão pobre que você mora numa favela. Isso é um defeito.
That's
Olha
a
só,
flaw.
eu acho que, pelo seu ponto de vista, esses não seriam os únicos atributos, não.
Ah, então você tá me escondendo.
E eu
alguma coisa?
escondendo? Não, não tô
Então,
escondendo nada. Eu só quero saber se você tá preparado pra ver o que eu tenho pra falar.
She's like, wait, is this happening? I love that Zanilda knows. I love that, like, that, you know, she came to their house before and they, like, she found out about Viviani. Everything he says to her, she has really good comebacks to it. Even he's like, oh, you're hiding something from me? She's like, I'm not hiding anything. And then just keeps, you know, like, she's so, yeah, I love her in this moment right now.
E eu escondendo? Não, não tô escondendo nada. Eu só quero saber se você tá preparado pra ver o que eu tenho pra falar.
João Rubens is so ready.
Ele tá bêbado, meu pai tá bêbado.
Claro que eu tenho certeza, Leonardo. Deve ser hora certa.
Me chacrinha, abre o jogo.
Oh my God.
Diga.
Então, Ferete, lembra aquele assunto sobre os netos?
Mas claro que eu lembro, eu falei dele 3 vezes e você, em nenhum momento você me respondeu.
É, porque eu vou te responder agora.
Aham.
Eu vou, sim, te dar netinhos lindos. Mas não da forma que você pensa.
De que forma você vai me dar esses netinhos lindos?
Provavelmente vamos adotá-los.
My God.
Leonardo, que história é essa?
Quê?
Que história é
Viviane,
essa
por favor.
que ela tá falando?
Por favor, continua.
Obrigada, meu amor. Bom, como eu ia dizendo, Ferete, nós vamos adotar os nossos filhos porque eu não tenho útero.
Say it.
Eu sou uma mulher trans.
Maravilhosa. O que é isso?
Eu não sou professora pra ficar dando palestra de graça.
What is it?
Nós vivemos no século XXI.
Yeah.
Acho que se você quiser descobrir, já que você não sabe o que é uma pessoa trans, vai na internet e pesquisa.
Great. Fantastic.
Leonardo, ela tá falando que ela é um homem.
E não vou passar por
Danilo,
Você não tem que passar.
Eu tenho um filho
Mas você
gay
não
também.
sabe.
Oh my god.
Vai me dizer que ele te enganou. Olha,
O que é?
Não pode falar isso, pai!
não só posso falar com...
Oh my god. At least Leo stepped like in between them. When he's walking towards her, he like steps up. That's one good thing he has done in this whole show. Okay. Poor Leo, I give him a bad like hard time, but like I think he deserves it. Because even now, I think Ferrecci was doing it again too. The same thing that I was talking about in the last video, I think, when he's throwing Lorena out. And it's all of them, the whole family at home, and it's not when he's throwing her out, it's the like scenes before when he's confronting her for the first time. And Lorena is stepping up to him and he can't handle it. So then he goes to the people who he knows that he can intimidate, like Leo, for example. Like when Lorena is there in his face, he's gonna be like, so did you know about this? Like changing the subject, or like, like talking to the others who he can manipulate and control more and yell at and know that they're not gonna yell back. Because Lorena is gonna yell back. I think this is a very similar kind of situation with Viviani. He can see that she is very smart and she is gonna step up to him and she's not gonna give in and he's not gonna be able to fight her. Especially now when he's drunk. So then even in that moment he goes to like, oh, so Leonardo, please explain to me, like tell me what this means or something, trying to turn it to him again. And maybe Leo is nervous in that moment because he is like, no, please Viviani, keep going, like please continue. He's not gonna step up then and start defending his girlfriend, the woman who he loves. He's not gonna do that against his dad because he's scared of him. And Ferrecci knows that. But yeah, again, he keeps like doing the same thing that he's done before when he can't face these like strong women. He's gonna talk to the little boy he has raised who will not say anything against him. And the fact that he is like, when she actually tells him that she's trans, it's like the perfect answer from, or not perfect, like it makes sense. Like, of course, that's the only answer a guy like him would have in that moment, is being like, what is it? Like trying to pretend that he doesn't know what it means. But even to that, how quick she is to answer, to be like, I'm not here to give you some free like course on it. I'm not a teacher. Like if you really want to know, if you don't know, in 2026, 5, whatever this came out, like look it up online. That she's very quick with her answers, making him feel stupid, which he is. So that's great.
Não pode falar isso, pai!
Não só posso falar como faço se vocês continuarem com essa aberração.
Chega! Acabou! O doutor não vai mudar ninguém aqui nessa sala. Você expulsou a Lorena de casa pra acabar com a nossa relação, mas já pensou o que vai acontecer se eu pedir ela em casamento?
Se você pedir, eu aceito.
Sério?
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is what does it. Look, I don't even care. The fact that he like literally fades face first to the ground, I'm like, who the fuck cares? Okay, Juquinha, let's go. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, like she's similar to all these strong women that poor Ferrecci has in his life now. Like Viviani, Juquinha, Lorena, of course, and Senilda. I mean, she's getting there. That's great. Yeah, the fact that she's saying that you're not changing anyone in this room, that's great. Because it's true. I don't know what he's like, is his point in like saying all these terrible things that he thinks that it's actually gonna change something. Yeah, because it definitely won't. I think that would only like make it worse from his point of view, the way he is acting. And then be like, what would you think if I proposed to her? Like, have you ever considered that? Yes, because I think before the dinner, I think there was talk about like that they're gonna go to the dinner and then Juquinha is gonna propose at the dinner or something. Wasn't there talk like that before? And I was like, I remember being like, that sounds like a terrible idea. I don't think that like, if that's the proposal that we're gonna get with these two, in this kind of environment that is like 0% romantic or nice or private or anything, that doesn't make any sense. But this makes a lot more sense. I guess this was the proposal. That she's like, what do you think would happen if I would propose to her? And then Lorena's face, first of all, being shocked, like all of us. And then be like, if you did, I would accept. And then it goes into like, oh, are you serious? And then they kiss and whatever. And he throws a fucking glass bottle at them. And then I'm so happy to see him just crash. It's so good. Oh my God. Let's watch it again.
Mas já pensou o que vai acontecer se eu pedir ela em casamento?
Se você pedir, eu aceito.
Sério?
Sorry, but that's... Oh my God, yeah.
Espera, licença. Pode ser um infarto, olha, e pode ser dos sérios.
Lorena's face. That's good. Great reaction from her. Because it's like, she's not gonna run because she's so mad at him. She's not gonna run right away to be like, Dad. She's gonna be like shocked, of course, and worried maybe, but I think shock would be the like biggest emotion at this point. So the fact that she's just there like, you know, that makes sense. Viviani is also taking over as a healthcare worker. I love that. She's here for this moment.
Ai, a culpa disso foi minha. Ele não estava preparado para esse jantar. Eu não devia ter feito isso.
Desculpa, Zenilda, a culpa foi minha. Eu não deveria ter feito nada do que eu fiz aqui na sua casa hoje. Perdão.
Imagina, a culpa não...
Don't blame yourselves. This is his fault.
Sinto muito. Não adianta, meu pai nunca vai aceitar a gente.
É uma pena, né? O nosso amor é muito lindo. E ele só deveria gerar mais amor e felicidade, não tristeza.
Yeah.
Vamos.
Well, that was it, I guess. I think that's the end of the dinner. Yeah, I mean, the expectations were very high for what is gonna happen in this scene. I think it delivered quite well. A lot of things were said, a lot of really shocking things were said in good and bad ways. And the ending was exactly how I imagined it was. I mean, I didn't imagine the thing that makes him go in the end is the fact that Juquinha is threatening him with a proposal to his daughter. Yeah, and I was thinking, like, how are we going to get to that point in this conversation? Like, how is this going to turn into a proposal? But because there were already so many things that were said to upset him today. I mean, he was saying most of the things that were upsetting. But then all these other people are also like saying stuff back to him or whatever. That I'm sure that the level of stress that he was under kept getting higher and higher and higher by everything he found out. And then he found out about Viviani. And then after that is when Juquinha says about the, getting married. And that was the thing that was then too much. I think that's perfect. I think it really delivered. I could have had it longer, the scene, because when you talk about these themes, this whole dinner could have been like the whole episode. It could have been like an hour. Now it like, of course, because it is a novella and there's like 75 characters in it, every storyline needs to be quite short, or like you don't spend like too much time talking about it in this way, and what about from this side, and this person thinks this, and like, you know, it's more like, oh, this is happening, okay, moving on to the next thing, oh, this is happening, okay, you know. And I think this scene was quite like that like there was nothing extra in it. It was just the things we needed to go through to talk about all the points that we wanted to talk about. Him offending, say that Lorena, hopefully she's there just a short time to pick up her stuff and then leave. Then Viviani like bullying him about like maybe he's gay as well. Then him saying all the terrible stuff to Kasper and the like his family, and then the Viviani telling him she's trans, and then Juquinha coming up with the proposal. Like we just went through everything. We didn't like sit in it and have a conversation. It was more like, you know, how many lines do we need to go through this conversation, and then we can move on. But it was great. That was really, really great. Drama, a lot of drama, which I expected as well. And now I guess everyone's going to the hospital. But here, Juquinha is with Paulina then.
Desculpa o cheiro, Juquinha.
Sorry about the smell.
Quer dizer então que o
A
Ferretti
boy
passou
in a
mal.
boy's apartment.
Do coração. Teve piripaque, crise de pânico, não sei o que foi.
I don't really know.
Na
I don't
verdade,
really care,
eu
to
acho
be
que foi
honest.
uma mistura de excesso de vinho com excesso de homofobia. Deu até uma peninha dele.
Yeah.
Só porque vocês voltaram na casa dele?
Não, você não tá entendendo. A namorada do Léo falou que ela era uma mulher trans e disse que podia casar com o Léo. O cara ficou roxo. E aí, quando eu falei que eu podia casar com a Lorena, aí...
Aí ele não aguentou.
Não aguentou.
Desculpa.
Que nojo.
Porra, Juquinha.
I love their
Ele
relationship.
tem muita vida pra se recuperar de muita coisa. É machista, homofóbico, misógino, transfóbico. Parece que ele é o combo da desgraça inteira.
That's so true. What else do you need? But yes, I do love their relationship. I love the way that they bully each other, you know, have the banter. You can see that they both really respect each other too. That's why the bullying and everything is funny, because you know that they don't mean it. It's kind of like a sibling relationship in many ways. And they're both really cool, like they have cool jobs, they're both police, like it's, I don't know. I love it that like when Lorena's, like when her and Juquinha are together, the scenes are of course great. But then when she's not with Juquinha, then her stuff, Lorena's stuff is with her family. Pretty much just that, right? Well, now she's also at the gallery without Juquinha sometimes. But then Juquinha's scenes without Lorena are pretty much just at work. So the fact that Lorena's stuff without Juquinha are mainly with her family, who she doesn't get along with well. I mean, her mom, of course she does, but like there's so much like tension and stuff going on that it's fun that the opposite of that, of course, when they're police, they're dealing with things that are also not easy, but the kind of relationship she has with her co-workers, for example, Juquinha, it's really fun and light and funny. So that is nice, because then also when they're together, I think Juquinha is the one who more like makes more jokes. Like Lorena might say something and then she makes a joke about it, or like, you know. So then it makes sense when we see her with other people too, that she is funny.
É agora o nosso principal suspeito.
She also looked
Mas se na verdade ele for a vítima.
great.
Nesse caso, se ele é a
In
vítima,
this
ele podia
light, in this
reaparecer
outfit.
e fazer
I'm
uma
like,
queixa
are you
na
kidding
polícia,
me?
né?
Não.
Ai, obrigada. Gente, não aguento mais tanta ansiedade.
Não, eu imagino, Zenilda, mas vamos ficar calmos. Já chega alguém aqui pra dar uma
She's so
resposta pra
done.
gente.
Like, what am I supposed to feel at this
mãe. Daqui a
point?
pouco, desse jeito, eu é que vou ter um treco aqui.
Falando, conversando bastante.
Ah, que bom. Que alívio.
Sim.
He's talking. What a relief. What is he saying?
Tá, mas será que a gente consegue fazer uma visita antes desse procedimento?
Consegue sim, mas aí eu vou pedir pra que seja só um de vocês, pra gente não estressar ele.
Least stressful, that would be her.
Eu.
Yeah.
Tá bem, então você pode me acompanhar. Obrigada.
Out of these four, it definitely should be her.
Por mais que eu ache que meu pai exagerou e por isso que ele teve esse ataque,
You're too
eu tô
good.
muito preocupada.
You're too good for this, Lorena. You're too good for him. I'm so not worried. I'm like, if he dies, okay. That's okay. I'm fine.
Tá voltando.
Oh my god. He's either gonna have like amnesia and not remember anything, or he's gonna be just as bad.
Tudo bem. Onde é que eu tô no inferno? Você tá no hospital.
Doutor Ferretti, o senhor passou mal.
Você tá vendo outro homem, além de mim, aqui nessa sala?
Passou mal outra vez. Cadê sua mãe? Chama as meninas.
Yeah, he's gonna be just as bad. Oh, to her as well. Oh my god.
Oi, pai.
But she's still so worried. It's so sad.
Fica bem.
Você quer me matar de uma vez? Não expulsei você só de casa, eu te expulsei da minha vida. O que você tá fazendo aqui?
Meu Deus.
Você não vai me fazer chorar.
Não.
It is unbelievable. I mean, I guess at this point we shouldn't be surprised by anything he's gonna say. You know, I would think this is even hard for like the writers to be like, every time he says something terrible, we are shocked by it, but then the next thing he says has to be even worse, even worse than what he said before. Which every time for me is like, I think this is the peak. I don't think we need to get or can get worse than this. And then every time it gets worse. They do a great job with that, because the fact that he's like, I didn't just throw you out of my house, I threw you out of my life. Like, what are you still doing here? When he's like half dead on a hospital bed and his daughter is there. That it's so obvious. Like, she says that you're not gonna make me cry. That he's just trying to break her. It's shocking because he is her dad. Do you want to kill me once and for all? Insane.
Expulsei da minha vida. O que você tá fazendo aqui?
Meu Deus.
Você não vai me fazer chorar.
I'm gonna go cry outside.
Vai, cuida dela.
She's gonna stay.
Precisa disso, diferente. Mesmo?
Pensando em me asfixiar, travesseiro.
Yes, I am. Yeah, see?
E acordou ainda mais louco.
Como foi feito na anestesia, Lorena?
Léo.
Oh. Where is Leo's face? That I can... That's still after... After everything, he is still defending him. Like, maybe it's just the anesthesia that makes him talk like that. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm sorry, I'm taking this way too seriously, but I just can't. I can't deal with it, that he is defending him. I think all of this, like, really, it makes it clear that he doesn't really love Viviani. He does not love her. Because if he did, the fact that anyone, whether it's his dad or anyone else, would say stuff like that to not only his sister, but also his girlfriend, if he really loved her, he would be crying with Lorena right now. And he would 100% not be defending Ferretti anymore. You know? Because I think until today, he could have still been like, well, he hasn't met her, he doesn't know her, like, there's still a chance that he's gonna, you know, be fine with everything and whatever. Now it has happened, and he is anything but fine with Viviani with anything. He's just getting worse. And Leo is getting worse with him. And I hate that. But I love that, like, Lorena is there with him. Because he needs her in his life to have some sense in all of this.
Não foi feita anestesia, Lorena.
Léo.
Que?
Para de passar pano pra ele.
Yes.
Olha tudo que ele falou pra tua mulher.
Yeah, exactly.
Não tô passando pano pra ninguém, Lorena.
Oh.
Olha, gente, perdão, tá? Eu sei que ele é pai de vocês, mas se existisse medicamento pra transfobia, o pai de vocês teria que tomar de meia hora pro resto da vida, correndo risco de nunca mais melhorar.
Calma.
Yeah.
Olha.
Agree.
Bom, eu vou ter que me despedir de vocês. Eu preciso voltar pra farmácia.
Oh,
antes
Lorena.
que seu pai me demita.
I feel so bad for her.
Meu pai te falou isso.
Ainda não, Lorena.
Yeah. But it very easily could happen.
Se ele melhorar do coração, porque de resto a gente sabe que ele não vai melhorar nunca.
Yeah.
Te amo.
I don't think there's any hope for him to become a better person or something. Like, there's no way. That's never gonna happen. Oh my god, yes, I was, okay, yeah, I was like, where is she? She just left? She went to, like, Lorena and everyone else came to the hospital and she just went to Paulinho? I mean, maybe she had to go to work and whatever. But now she's back. Amazing. And no one else is here. Perfect. She looks so worried. Oh my god. And that's when she can break down. Her face when she sees her come in. That she still, even though she was kind of crying before, even when Leo was there, but she wasn't like breaking down. Here she clearly like breaks down. She sees Juquinha come in, and then her face here. That's where she's gonna let herself like be this vulnerable. I love it that it's with her then.
Fica tudo bem.
Não era pra você estar na delegacia agora.
Yeah, okay.
Eu tenho uma escapadinha. Como é que tá seu pai?
Pior. Tá pior da cabeça, porque aquele coração já voltou a ser aquela pedra.
Yeah.
E ele falou coisas horríveis pra mim, mesmo naquele estado dele. E eu aqui só queria que ele mudasse.
Meu amor. Tenta passar por cima disso. Pelo menos por agora.
Even her voice is breaking when she's seeing her like this. Poor Lorena, that she just wants him to change. I don't think that's the worst as a kid, when you're pretty sure that your parent is not gonna take it well, something like your sexuality, for example, in this case. Like, you have a feeling that they're not gonna take this well. They're gonna have a problem with it or whatever, but you still hope that they will change. There's hope that, like, but if I just try to explain it to them, and if they just see me with my girlfriend who is very nice and whatever, like, maybe they will change their mind. Usually, I would say they don't. I feel bad for her that she would want him to change, because I'm like, Ferretti is probably the last person who would actually change his mind. He's so stubborn and so proud of, I don't know, for what reason and what he has to be proud of, I don't know, but he's too proud to actually give up and be like, oh, actually, I accept this. But even after the dinner, after everything, Lorena is still like, I just wanted him to change. Like, that's so sad. And then the way that Juquinha says, meu amor, after that, her voice, like, breaking.
E eu aqui só queria que ele mudasse.
Yeah.
Meu amor. Tenta passar por cima disso. Pelo menos por agora. Eu sei que é difícil, mesmo escutando todas essas coisas horrorosas que você não merece. Mas apesar de tudo, ele ainda é seu pai.
This is a nice shot from the windows.
Obrigada.
Eu tô aqui.
Eu te amo.
Eu te amo.
Por ser pessoa.
Beautiful. I love that we have these again, even though it's of course a horrible thing that's happening, horrible that Lorena is suffering, like everything is horrible. But these kinds of scenes are still the ones that I love seeing from couples like this. That it's the one of them taking care of each other, the emotional stuff, the drama, like this is the stuff that I want to see from them. Of course also the happy stuff and, you know, the nice moments. Like this feels more real, I guess, in many ways. All of this, the way they're like, I'm here and thank you and I love you and all of this. It's so cute. Thank you for being who you are. And Juquinha's face here being like I'm here for her, but man, I wish I could go and like do something to him, which I agree with. I'm like, is he gonna, at some point of the show, is he gonna die, Ferrecci? Because we need him for the drama, but he, like, I would very much want to get rid of him at all, like altogether.
Com as coisas da vida é mais isso, assim, ficar gritando mesmo, essa é uma amargura, eu só não quero ter que olhar pra cara dele, é isso, gente.
Se isso já vem acontecendo há muito tempo, por que a senhora resolveu vir hoje? Algo diferente aconteceu nessa briga?
I love this. I love this.
Como foi muitas vezes assim, uma atrás da outra.
I love seeing Juquinha at work, like with them, and then interrogating people who we know about something that we know that they're lying, you know?
Joaquim, me fala, eu vou puxar a ficha dele aqui.
Joaquim é Monteiro, né?
Monteiro.
Like everything happening in this scene right now is so, like, it's funny because even though the subjects that they're talking about are not funny, but the fact that like Ligia comes here to the station to tell about him having the statue and whatever, and then Charlotte comes and finds her to be like, no, you can't tell him because I'm involved in it too, and then they are already there, so that they can't just leave and be like, oh, never mind. Then they have to come up with something that they were there to report originally. I don't know, but I do like these scenes of Juquinha at work being very serious, and not just because those scenes are also funny when like she's just with the guys and they're just joking around and whatever, but here they're actually working, actually doing something, and investigating something that is very central to the show, so then there's other characters from the show here and stuff. It's fun to see the characters. It feels almost like a crossover when we have, for example, these two at the police station now, you know, because they are never here. So then seeing them with these characters, of course we see them with Paulinho all the time, but seeing them with Juquinha and the chief, like, it feels like a crossover episode of like two different shows combining. Because even though everyone in this show is somehow connected, which is hilarious, but it's a novella, they still have separate scenes always, and we don't see them in each other's homes or wherever we see them at work or stuff like this. Because then I think the 100th episode is coming up too. And from that I heard that they're all kind of gonna be in the same place for when they're opening the pharmacy or something. So those kinds of scenes are the ones that are like, oh my god, yes. I mean, we see all these characters on their own all the time, and we know that they like know about each other and there's all these connections, but we don't see them interact with each other, we don't see them in each other's worlds. So it's fun to see.
De onde?
Senhor Joaquim Monteiro? Aqui é Eduarda Fragoso.
And then she's the one calling.
Delegacia?
That's great. Boys are panicking.
Registro de ocorrência de injúria e perturbação no nome do senhor. A solicitante é a dona Lígia Maria das Graças.
Ah, dona Lígia? Ela foi falar isso de mim?
He is so relieved. that it's not about the statue. He's like happy to come to the station now.
Certo, até logo.
E aí? O que ele falou, Juquinha?
Muito estranho, até demais. Ele nem tentou negar.
Esses caras são assim, eles não se alteram.
That's great.
Vem cá, esse é seu pai. Como é que ele tá?
We're here again.
O meu pai tá igual.
Here,
Como
meaning in a bar.
sempre.
Is this still the same day? Yeah, Juquinha is still wearing the same thing.
Meu pai sempre cuidou tão bem da gente. E aí agora ele me taca pra fora de casa e logo em seguida fica doente desse jeito. Eu não sei o que pensar.
Yeah, it's so
Apesar de
confusing.
tudo, eu confesso que eu fiquei preocupada. Mas assim também, se seu pai quiser deserdar você e tirar sua herança, não tem problema. Porque afinal de contas, a minha família tem dinheiro, então eu posso te bancar.
Yeah, she's like, I can be a sugar mama. No worries. Yeah, like I've said before, the problem... That's really funny. The problem is not money for them, unlike it would be for Leo and Viviani, for example, because Juquinha's family is very rich. But I love it that they are actually saying it out loud in the show. That she's like, actually, you know, if he's gonna cut you off completely, that's fine. Then I'll just take care of you. And it is like a realistic thing to say. We don't listen to that and go like, oh, that's cute. She's being very romantic and whatever. We're like, no, that's true. She very easily can take care of her.
Afinal de contas, a minha família tem dinheiro, então eu posso te bancar.
Safada. Só você mesmo. E aproveitando que a gente falou na sua família, me conta um pouco como é a relação de
Yes,
vocês.
we never hear
Se
about her
tem
family.
ou se
Thank you.
teve afeto, carinho, amor, compreensão.
Teve. Tem muito afeto. Meus pais sempre foram muito amorosos. Eles nunca questionaram ou quiseram mudar a pessoa que eu sempre fui. Eles são cabeça bem aberta, tipo sua mãe.
Tipo a minha mãe. Tipo a minha mãe hoje, né?
Yeah.
Porque antes a minha mãe só passava pano pro meu pai. Fazia vista grossa pro pensamento neandertal dele.
Yeah.
Mas as coisas mudaram.
Fico feliz que meus pais não foram assim.
I love that we talk about her parents.
Vou te apresentar pra ele.
I'm sorry. Yes. I'm like, it's gonna be interesting if they, or I've thought that it's gonna be interesting if they do bring her family into the show, because they, like I said, they already have like 75 different characters, so many characters. We don't need any more characters in the show. But then for something like this, I'm like, it would be so interesting to see Lorena meet her parents, for example. But I think then for the novella, the parents would have to have something else as well. They would have to be connected to some other plot too, not just be there for those like couple scenes where Lorena is gonna meet them and stuff like this. That they would have to connect to more points in the show, I think. I mean, for me, they wouldn't, but from what I understand of the world of a novella, everyone needs to be connected to more than one other character in the show. But I think because her dad was like a judge, right? So maybe when people find out about the medicine being fake, for example, or something, and this going into court, or, you know, maybe he would then be involved in like putting Ferrecci to the jail or something like this. I don't know. But I love how she gets all like nervous about, you know, talking about them. Or not talking about them. First she's like, they're great, da, da, da. And then when she says like, I would want to introduce you to them. I love it. I love how you can see from, I think especially Juquinha, the difference when she's talking with her people at work, whatever, or even Lorena when they're just like talking about whatever. But then when it gets to something more like vulnerable and emotional or something, how she becomes like a completely different person, because she's probably not used to having a relationship like this, be able to talk to someone like this. And maybe she's like nervous about like here, for example, being like, I want you to meet them, and you know, like not being like, I'm gonna take you to meet my parents. Yeah, let's go, you know, but being like a little bit nervous. It's so cute.
Quero te apresentar pra ele. Eles estão viajando agora, mas quando eles voltarem de viagem...
They are traveling.
Eu vou te apresentar.
Eu
See?
quero.
Eles vão se amarrar e conhecer você.
Eu que vou me amarrar.
I will love to see that.
E que tal se a gente já pede pra minha sogrinha e pro meu sogrão, se eles darem um workshop pro meu pai, não sei, um tutorial pra ver se melhora aquele espírito, aquela alma.
Oh my God.
Complexo, porque capaz de modo nenhum, o Dr. Santiago Ferretti cair duro, ter um treco, ter que voltar pro hospital.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think he could take it. It would be funny though, because I think Juquinha's parents would probably be the only people that Ferretti would have any kind of respect for. Because he thinks he's above everyone else, every other character on the show. He doesn't even respect his wife. He doesn't respect anyone. He definitely does not respect Arminda, his kids, Rogerio, anyone. You know, like there's no respect for any character. I know he's probably gonna hate Juquinha's parents because they are so open-minded. But I would think he would have to have some kind of like, you know, actual respect for them because they are higher up than him in the thing that he cares the most, which is the hierarchical system. Yes.
Que foi?
I'm sorry. Same. I love that. I feel like all of us are just watching her. Again, she's doing the hair thing, which she always does, which I'm like, again, she knows exactly what she's doing. That everyone, all of us are gonna be watching her like this. And I love that. Juquinha is that also. They're just like, he's like, what? No, nothing. Like what?
Que foi? Que foi? Tem uma sujeira no meu dente. Não.
There's something stuck in my teeth.
O que foi?
É que eu acho impressionante a capacidade que você tem de se manter leve, com um sorriso.
Yeah.
Até quando você fala desse pai que tanto te machucou.
Oh, we changed the
Talvez em outro
music
tempo.
to more sexy music. I'm sorry, I'm not listening to what they're saying. I love that every bar is also playing all their songs. Like they know exactly what to play and when. I mean, of course, it's just planned for the scenes, but it's really funny to think about it. If this is supposed to be realistic, you know.
Talvez em outro tempo eu perdesse energia ficando magoada com ele. Mas agora eu me sinto tão amparada. Eu me sinto tão protegida e amada por você.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
E só tem como ficar leve com tudo isso.
Oh. Okay. I like. I'm sorry. I wonder how many bars they have been to so far. And they're always in a different place. Because I'm like, are these real bars or are these sets? Because there's nowhere they're building a new set for every freaking Loquinha scene that is in the show because they're always in a different bar. So do they always just rent a different place and go film there for a couple hours and that's it? Maybe. But yeah, I'm like, where's this kiss going? I love them. Like, they're so cute. Because even here, I thought that this is gonna go into like Lorena being all like, oh, like this on the couch, and Juquinha just like staring at her. I'm like, is this gonna go into like, you're so hot and something, you know, like that? But no, it goes to the cute side again, which is like so nice that then even there she's not like, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen or something, but she goes into like, you're so strong and I'm so amazed by how you're able to like still stay smiling and be positive even though your dad is saying all these terrible things. And you know, like I feel like us as a like gay audience watching this gay couple, in many ways we hope for all the like raunchy sexy stuff, like in some ways yes, but then when they give us like this really like sweet and more deep and sincere scenes instead, it's really nice. Because we don't need to like over sexualize them either. We don't need to make every look and everything be about like, I just want you, you know? And that's very, very nice. And it's not like they don't have that, but it's more like in the background and it's more like hinted at. Especially the way that Lorena keeps looking at Juquinha in different, like when she was doing the handcuff joke in the, like before they went to the dinner, or even at the dinner when Lorena's like pulling her back and she's like biting her lip, and you can see from her that she's like, oh my god, like I can't wait to get my hands on this woman, you know? But then they don't make the scenes about that, you know? That we don't sit here watching them like just drooling over each other in that way and talking about it. We can see it. I'm sure then also for a lot of the audience, because most people watching this novella are not gonna be like, oh my gosh, the lesbians, you know? They're just probably gonna tolerate it, be like, okay, fine, or even skip those scenes, or like, you know, not want to see it at all. So then the fact that the sexy stuff, or the stuff that would be maybe too much for the main audience of the show, that only happens kind of in the background and in the small moments that we can see, because we zoom in and we look at everything they do so like like with so much detail, and every little thing they do we're like, oh my god, did you see the hand? Oh, did you see the finger doing this? Did you see her eye twitching like this? You know, we're like, everything that's happening, we're like zooming in and really making a big deal out of it. But then the people who don't want to see it, who don't want to see the hot flirting or whatever, they can kind of pretend that it's not happening because it's just happening in the background. And then when we focus on them, when we have a scene of them together, then they're just like cute and sweet and nice, and it's beautiful stuff that they're saying to each other. And it's not like then people who would be maybe like, these two girls kissing each other is not right or something. They don't give them a reason. They don't give them more ammo to shoot at them, you know? They don't give them a reason to like hate them. Like every time people would want to hate them, the scene is just like cute and sweet. A lot sweeter than any other couple and healthier than any other couple in the show. Because if all these scenes that we see of them together, when it's the two of them in a bar or wherever, in the car or something, if all those scenes were just about like, I want you, you know, when are we gonna have sex? Or something, then a lot of haters watching the show can be like, oh, these lesbians just want sex, or they're just horny and whatever. And they don't give them that chance, which is great. That then all the horny stuff is just in the background and just Lorena like I don't know, like drooling over her, but in the like, yeah, just in the background and in the little things that you don't pay attention to necessarily unless you are us. Anyways, but yeah, this scene could have ended very differently, but I love that even then they bring it to a very sweet place. And the way she's looking at her again, I'm sorry, but like this look from Gabby, oh my god. And then the nose rubbing, so cute. They are adorable. I love them.
Olha só, o pai de vocês...
And now she's back to the hospital. I love that she's just going back and forth with Juquinha and then coming back here.
Então, por isso que eu queria fazer um pedido pra vocês dois, de coração. Dá pra vocês evitarem briga com o pai de vocês até ele melhorar?
No, can you avoid seeing him?
Posso tentar, mas e se ele me provocar?
It's interesting that still after all this, she's like, well, of course now her husband is like in the hospital and whatever, and I guess it's good that she's worried about him. But she was there too. She heard everything he said. It's hard for me to understand someone who is still there, like, let's not try and not make him upset, and you know, I'm like, why? He would not care to make us upset.
Exatamente, vamos manter o pai de vocês calmo.
Oh, dear God.
Se a ideia era essa, esquece.
Zenilda não tem de me impedir. Eu tenho o direito de ver meus
God,
sócios.
my business
O meu marido
partner.
tá se recuperando, ele só recebe visitas da família.
It's
Tia
starting.
Arminda, vocês me consideram parente?
Claro, por parte de Adão e Eva.
Oh my God.
E olha lá como você fala com a minha irmã.
E você, ô Nepo Baby? Daqui a pouco teu pai dá um pé na bunda também.
O que você quer? Você quer o quê? Você quer perturbar
Let's
minha
go,
família?
Zenilda.
Se você veio aqui pra destratar os meus filhos, pode cair fora.
Yeah. Get out, Arminda.
Eu não preciso do menor esforço para destruir tua família. Teus filhos fazem muito bem isso, e muito bem.
Você lava a tua boca pra falar dos meus filhos.
Ai, mamãe urso. Defendendo os ursinhos dela. Não, deixa eu corrigir. Ursinha.
Oh, she is crazy. I love it. Them like stepping up.
Acho que eu não queria acreditar que existe gente tão podre como você.
Cala sua boca. Ou eu me tomo na tua cara.
Experimenta custar um dedo na minha mãe.
O que é, Nepo Baby? Vai me bater?
Ele não. Mas eu não respondo.
Yes, let's go. I'm like, I think she's the first one to slap her if someone is.
Eu sou uma mulher de classe e não vou ceder às Muito obrigada.
Com licença.
Obrigada.
Oh my God.
Respira.
Calminhos.
She is crazy. I mean, I love her.
Você tá maluca? Você tá louca?
Yeah.
Você tá vendo?
She still thinks that
Você tem uma
she's gonna
família
go through.
que tem problema como qualquer outro, mas a gente é unida, a gente se ama. E é isso que você não tolera, né? Odeia sua mãe, odeia seu próprio filho, odeia todo mundo. Deve ser muito triste ser você.
Triste é ser uma dona de casa dos anos 50.
And why is that?
Ah, você precisa, sabe por quê? Você é a pessoa mais
I
frustrada.
can't wait for this to really happen. The two of them.
Sai daqui e fica longe dos meus filhos e da minha família. Porque aquilo que eu pensava ser a nossa amizade termina aqui.
Família. Se construir um castelo de areia. A maré tá chegando, Zenilda.
The tide is coming.
Mãe, parabéns você.
Parabéns
Você pela primeira vez não
pra você.
deitou pra ela.
Let's go. People were saying in the comments, someone was saying that I can't wait for you to see the scene where Zenilda finds Dan Berechi in their bed. I'm like, oh my God. I think that's gonna be the one that actually is gonna pop Zenilda and she's gonna like attack her or something. Because that was already closed. That was already like, I was like, maybe it's gonna happen now that that Arminda is gonna say something about them being together or whatever. But I think the best way for her to find out, I mean, the best way, the worst way, but the best way for us watching is like, you know, she actually catches them in bed. So I can't wait. We're gonna do some kind of, I think my wife is gonna try and find that scene somewhere in English because I'm sure that's not gonna be in these videos because Lorena and Juquinha are not there. I'm assuming they're not in that scene. But I really want to see that scene. So we're gonna try and make it happen somehow. But yes, I love that they Lorena is like, Mom, congratulations, you did it. Yeah, because this was very impressive. Because Arminda is not an easy woman to stand up to.
Você pela primeira vez não deitou pra ela.
Yeah, you didn't back down. Yeah, Lorena is like, I've taught you well.
Amiga, essa mulher nunca foi tua amiga. Até capaz de te jogar na frente de um ônibus ela foi.
Oi? Mas que
Nada,
Como
não
assim?
foi nada, não foi nada.
Leo, yeah, true, Leo has no idea about this.
Olha só, vamos se acalmar aqui, tá? Vamos se acalmar.
Serilda is just like, let's keep it between us girls. The boys can't handle that.
Pra ir embora desse lugar.
Tá.
Mãe. Eu tô muito orgulhosa de você.
I'm really proud too.
Nada demais.
Yes.
A gente precisa ficar unido agora.
I love her. Look, I love Lorena and Juquinha together. I love both the characters. But I think Zerilda is probably my favorite character in this show. To be very honest.
Já que a mãe não quer que a gente entre, eu vou dar uma volta com a Juquinha.
Eu também vou falar com a Viviane, que parece que eu vou encontrar ela, mas...
She's already gone, Leo.
Semana.
Yeah. Whatever. I love that then she's like, oh, well, might as well. This is still the same day. Wait. So last night was the dinner, right? She went straight to the hospital from there. Juquinha didn't come with her, but then she came the next day. They met at the hospital. Then Juquinha went back to work. Then they met in the bar. Juquinha went back to work. And now they're meeting in another bar again. This is hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. No, but look, I'll take it. This is fantastic.
Você falou que ia me trazer num lugar especial.
Somewhere special, another
que
bar.
ia ser algo assim. Gostou? Gostei.
I didn't imagine it would be like this. Another bar. What is this supposed to be? Some kind of special bar? Like, it looks exactly the same as everything else. And I'm like, is this gonna be the scene with the homophobic guys? Because this guy keeps like looking back at them, and we're really focusing on it. He's right in the front of the camera. So when Juquinha is gonna like arrest him or something.
Gostei.
Você tem que comer a comida daqui, é incrível.
É? Então vamos pedir já.
Você merece.
Yeah, he keeps looking like,
Depois
oh my god.
desses dias e tudo que você tem passado.
A gente merece, né? Você ficou do meu lado esse tempo todo.
Yes, that's true. She's been great.
Quando isso tudo passar, eu quero te levar para um lugar muito mais especial.
Eu tô te devendo uma noite inteira nossa, né?
Oh my god.
Não. Não tá, porque eu não quero que você pense que eu tô te cobrando alguma coisa.
Eu é que não quero que você pense que eu tô te enrolando.
Mas eu não tô pensando nisso.
Yes, this is great. This is great. Because, oh my god. Because isn't it like, Juquinha has dated before, right? We don't know anything. We just know that the last person she was dating did not want to keep the relationship, or wanted to keep the relationship open. Let's say it like that. Yeah, but that's the only thing we know about any of her previous relationships. We don't know if there's been many. We don't know if she has had sex, for example. Is it just Lorena who is like a virgin at this point? But that's also a very nice conversation to have, that she's like, after everything that is over, which, what, the novella is over? No, but I've seen from you guys, and I know that their first time has happened now as well. So I can't wait to get there and see how they actually do that. But that we talk about like that she's like, when all of this is over, we want to take you somewhere very special. And then Lorena being like, yeah, I guess I owe you a night for just us. Which is not like that. It's not like she owes her, because we haven't had sex yet. We need to have sex as soon as possible, you know? But the fact that she says that, and then Juquinha's answer is, no, No, because I don't want you to think that I'm taking you somewhere special so I can have sex with you, you know? And then, like, I understand it from both sides, that then Lorena also feeling bad because then she feels like she's just, like, taking advantage of her, that she's just letting her drive her around and buy her drinks and whatever and not giving her anything back, you know? Which is, of course, if this is a healthy relationship, which it is, that's not like a problem. It's not like she's expecting something, you know, in return of all of the things that she does for her, that now you better then, like, have sex with me. So very nice that we're having this conversation. But the way she's also, like, rubbing her hand and whatever when this is happening.
Eu tô te devendo uma noite inteira nossa, né?
Não. Não tá, porque eu não quero que você pense que eu tô te cobrando alguma coisa.
Yeah. Eu é que não quero que você pense que eu tô te enrolando.
Yeah, leading you on, yeah, right.
Eu sei que tá muito difícil pra você. Você saiu de casa, seu pai no hospital e...
There's a lot happening.
Meu trabalho também tem uns horários malucos.
Mas não é só isso. Você sabe.
O que será que é, então? Vai me dizer que você não gosta mais de mim?
Claro que não. Claro que não. Eu te amo.
Oh my god. Sorry, this is gonna be... I was like, maybe this will be a shorter video. I don't think it will be. The way she grabs her chin. What is the problem there? She's nervous, right? That's why we haven't done it yet, because she's also like, she pretends that she's very like ready and wants it right now, but then she's also nervous, right? Like, maybe you don't like me anymore. No, that's not true.
Claro que não.
Of course not.
Eu te amo.
I love that.
Ai, ufa.
É que eu tô ansiosa.
Yes, that's it.
Não precisa ficar. Tudo tem seu tempo.
Eu sei que tudo tem o seu tempo, mas é que eu quero muito. Eu quero muito ter o nosso tempo. A inteira. Pra você. Livre. Solta. Entregue. Muito.
And the homophobic guys are still there. They were having all this conversation right in front of them. Oh. And homophobic straight people as well. They're like, oh my god, they're so fucking cute.
Olha essas lésbicas ali.
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
Desperdício. Esses aí tem mais aqui
What
no
a
inferno.
waste. I'm sorry, what? Oh my god. I understand I mean, I don't understand, but I kind of understand the such a waste comment, because that's also kind of a compliment to be like, you know, not a compliment, not really, but it has the tone of like, you're jealous that these two women are not there for you because they like women and they are with each other, so that's a waste. Look, like, in some ways it's not a nice thing to say, of course, but there is still the whatever, I don't know what I'm saying. But these two should burn in hell? These guys, like, who are you people? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, where did you come from? You're just sitting in a restaurant and saying this to people you've never met. Like, what? That is insane. Actually insane.
Inferno.
Dá licença que eu tô com a minha namorada e eu exijo respeito?
Namorado o quê? Duas gatas dessas. Só estão se pegando porque vocês ainda não acharam um macho de verdade.
Eu não tô vendo nenhum macho aqui.
Yeah, good. Ew.
Quer que eu te mostre?
Acho melhor você se afastar, senão vai
Ou
dar.
você o quê?
Yeah.
Tá achando que só porque é sapatona pode me encarar? Você também? Que isso?
Oh, let's
Policial
go.
Fragoso, Polícia Civil de São Paulo.
Let's go.
Você tá preso por homofobia e tentativa de lesão corporal.
Fantastic. Oh, that's it? That was for the lesbians. Her with the gun and the badge. Like that.
Sinto muito que nosso encontro tenha terminado assim.
Você não tem que pedir desculpa.
Yeah, it's not your fault. You're the one who
Louca que
fixed
esses
the
caras
whole
não conseguem
situation.
respeitar o amor de duas mulheres.
Sei, mas olha, no que depender de mim, esses idiotas nunca vão sair impunes.
I love that she still didn't, like, she should have arrested Ferrecci as well at the dinner. This scene also, I'm sorry, I'm just pointing this out. This scene has very weird, not in a bad way necessarily weird, but very interesting camera angles. Like this right now. Not that it looks bad or anything, but I'm like, why are we down here? I mean, I'm sure there's some reason, but there has been even other ones when they were still sitting more from under, I think, or like really close ups. I don't know. I just think the camera work in this scene has been quite different from the other scenes, maybe, from the rest of the show. I don't know. But they are so cute here. Just in the middle of the restaurant after that whole scene.
Eu nunca me senti tão protegida, Duda.
Duda.
Fico pensando quem não tem a sorte de ter uma policial particular assim pra defender, pra proteger.
Yeah, true. It's dangerous.
Mas é por isso que ninguém pode ficar quieto quando uma coisa dessas acontece. Tem que denunciar.
Sim.
This is such a
Obrigada.
ad again. For people watching this being like, oh, so if we see it, we need to report it. I see. Okay. Good to know.
A minha história com a Viviane?
Com a Juquinha.
Não, ele nem tocou nesses assuntos comigo, não.
Então, ele passou mal do nada, mãe? Não tô entendendo. Foi alguma complicação com o cateterismo?
Não, meu filho. O pai de vocês recebeu a visita de uma pessoa lá no quarto e ele ficou...
Oh yeah, this was a really gay guy from some other novella or something that came into his
Foi
room.
voluntário do hospital. E o pai de vocês não...
And she can't even say it. Like, how do I explain it to these people? Yeah, it was funny. Ferrecci was like not doing well. It's so funny. Oh, she indeed is the prodigal daughter who returns back home.
Depois que meu pai me expulsou.
Essa casa aqui é sua, Lorena. Mesmo com toda essa loucura que tá acontecendo na nossa vida, é tão bom ter você aqui.
I love them together. It's so nice. I feel like their relationship really took a turn from like the way it was in the beginning. Like it's so much warmer now and it's so clear that they are like in a team together. And it's so nice to see.
Mas me conta, pra que você me chamou aqui? A gente podia ter conversado.
Yeah, but I think this is just gonna be a scene now about another ad or one of those again for the weight loss thing. And I think this is the end of I don't think I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I think that's the end. It's so interesting to me, the concept of these like ads that the novellas have, like important topics or something that they need to talk about, and then the scenes are so awkward and so unnatural when they need to like talk about these important things and write it into the script as if it would make any sense to talk about this. Like here they're talking about some weight loss pens and how dangerous they are and whatever, and having to then like try to somehow write it into the story that it makes sense with everything else, even though it's just an ad that they need to talk about. Same with the scene earlier when they were in the bar when Juquinha had just arrested the guys and whatever, and then the way she says to Lorena, like, yeah, because you know when this happens you need to report it, you know, like it's like some video from school that they're showing to kids to teach them how you're supposed to act in these different situations. It's very interesting to me. Or then there was that one scene in the beginning when they had just started dating, and then they are in some restaurant again and drinking the Coke. That is such an obvious Coca-Cola ad. It's so interesting to me that they do those kinds of scenes because it's so unnatural, and I'm like, how does that work in a positive way for a brand? Like, is someone really gonna watch that and be like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a Coke now? you know? Because to me, it's more like, it's so cheesy and so, I'm like, oh my god, please make it stop. But it is interesting. Anyways, great. I have no idea how long this video is. I feel like I've been filming for hours. There was great stuff in this episode, or this compilation of many, many episodes, I'm guessing. I think my favorite scene, maybe the one, the bar before the last bar in the same night, the same clothes. When they're talking about, like, Juquinha was talking about introducing her to her parents and all of that. I think that scene was very, very cute. I really liked that. I like the last one too, with them and then like the homophobic guys and stuff. Because it proves again that even though there are people who don't accept them around, not just in family, but also like just randomly like that in a restaurant, like actually saying it out loud, that they're not gonna be like, I mean, a lot of people would just be like, let's just go, let's just leave and not make a big deal out of this. Some people probably would pretend that they're not even hearing and just, you know, try to block it out, but that they are actually gonna step up and challenge them. And Juquinha, who is the police, she has to arrest them, and she does, you know? So that is really cool to see how they step up to the bullies, to the homophobic people. And it's very nice that they are both on the same level in that. It's not like one of them, even though they're like, Juquinha is more like she has been out her whole life, you know, and Lorena is only now coming out and whatever. So in that way, they are like, in that sense, they are in different levels. But the fact that they are both quite similar in the, when someone says something, they're not just gonna let it go, they're gonna actually say something against them, that is very cool. That they're not like, that Lorena is the way she is, says like, yells back at her dad and whatever, and then Juquinha is more like, okay, let's calm down, let's just go, you know? That they're both very, because Juquinha was also yelling at him in the dinner now, for example. And then like challenging these guys and stuff like this. So it's very good that then in that thing, they are on the same, they think and act in the same way, because often you, even if you think the same way, some people are more brave and like willing and ready to say stuff against hateful comments and people. Yeah, some people are more willing and like able to do that than others. Yeah, so I just love that they're kind of on the same level. The dinner was crazy. The scene, oh, also that scene I really, really liked. Juquinha and Lorena after, like in the hospital, when Juquinha comes back to the hospital and they have that little scene when Lorena's like crying, and I really like that scene with them too. Because it's so simple and sweet. Like I was saying earlier, I love how we don't focus on the heat of the relationship, and you know, even though now we talked about spending a night together and all of that, but it's never the main thing they talk about. And they keep it quite like PG and quite simple and sweet, which I really like. And all the stuff with Zenilda stepping up to Arminda, so funny. I love that. And yeah, maybe that is it. This was great. Part 5. Part 5 delivered. I can't wait for part 6. I don't know what is gonna happen in part 6. Like, are we then gonna have, is part 6 already gonna have the Zenilda, Ferrecci, Arminda drama, for example? And what are all the things that are gonna happen with the girls now before the trip, when they go and have sex for the first time? Like, what is gonna happen before that? I'm trying to think if I know what is gonna happen before that. The 100th episode is coming at least, and someone tries to shoot Ferrecci. But I don't know if there's any Loquinha scenes there. I mean, I'm sure there's something. But yeah, I don't know what to expect. Because now that last one ended with the dinner is coming. So like, I knew that the dinner is gonna be the big thing that we're looking forward to in this one. But now I'm not sure what we're looking forward to in the next one. So I'm very excited. So I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all those things if you want. And I will see you next time. And in a live, possibly. Yes. Let me know if you're interested in doing a live. We'll see. So maybe I'll see you in the live. Maybe I'll see you in the next video. But thanks for being here. Bye, guys.